Good morning. This is Heike. You're watching Stone Cold Coffee Crafts. Today is Monday, May the 25th, and we are back to our daily crafty chats. And here we have little Lola, wondering why the heck I am already awake. It's even earlier than last week when I recorded these videos, but I am a little more awake at this point. Don't know why. Maybe it's Monday. Weird Monday vibes. So I hope this is going to be a bit less brain farty this time. No promises. All right, let's see how we can keep up these crafty chats with me being back on the clock, basically. We're going to make this work. So I hope you had a wonderful long weekend, or if you are in the US, you're still having hopefully a wonderful long weekend, because today is, if I'm not mistaken, Memorial Day. So happy Memorial Day to all my US viewers. I hope you're enjoying it. Lola hopes you are taking a break and relax. And yeah, my long weekend is over. My week of vacation is over. There happened to be a long weekend as well. And yeah. Let's see how we are going to do this. I did not do a ton of crafting over the long weekend. For one, the boyfriend was home and we did this strange thing couples tend to do sometimes, spending some time with each other. We've been together for 20 years, so we usually don't do couple time. We just are. But sometimes we take a bit of time out of our day to do that. So basically, I took Friday off completely. I crafted for a few hours with my lovely friends on Zoom on Saturday, and then we chatted until 5 something in the morning my time, which was too much for this old woman. And on Sunday, I continued on the piece I started on Saturday, but didn't do as much as I thought as I would, because the mother of all headaches thought it was time to give me another visit. Honestly, she could stay away for all I care. So Friday I did a bit of knitting. I finished the cowl, which I'm going to show you in the knitting section. And let's start with the diamond painting. There was no diamond painting again. So I'm very, very sorry to my diamond painting viewers who are not interested at all in the stitching and knitting. I don't have anything to show you right now. No, please don't sit on this laptop. It's still needed. Maybe a little update. The mystery package has left the Philippines now. It was originally scheduled to be delivered today. Honestly, I don't think this is going to happen, because unless the tracking on the FedEx webpage stopped working, it's still in China. So this time around, it decided to take the route from the Philippines via China, and there it is right now. I hope it doesn't stay there too much longer, because I really, really would like to stick to the plan Diamond Shop gave us and reveal the artist on June 5th. So fingers crossed, please, people. On another note, I still have no idea what the artist is. I am so excited, you won't believe it. And yeah, I'm impatiently waiting this time. I've been pretty patient with mail in the last few months, but this time I'm a bit impatient because, ooh, surprise. But it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, I showed you the zodiac paintings, and I really, really planned to do one of them, but for whatever reason, I did so little crafting, it just fell off the plan again. They are back on the plan for this week. Maybe I can get at least 1 or 2 of them done. I mean, they are usually like 2-hour projects. While being distracted, it should not be such a difficult thing to do. As for the Treasure Studios art painting I chose for my diamond painting of the month, I have now decided I'm not going to bother finishing it right now. I'm not enjoying it, or if I want to go the KonMari route, it's not sparking any joy at all. So I'm going to put it on the to finish later pile, and that's going to be it. I mean, the goal of the diamond painting of the month for you was never to start and finish a painting within the month fitting my theme. That was just for me. But I guess it is what it is, and it is okay that I don't like this one and don't want to finish it right now. I'm going to finish it at some point because I always do, unless it's so completely rubbish that I toss it, which is not the case with this painting. It is quality-wise pretty good. I'm just not a fan of a few things I have talked about. So, yeah, that's where we are with diamond painting. I hope I will be able to give you a bit more information on how the diamond shop thing is going to be run this week. Let's see. I mean, usually FedEx was always pretty fast, but I don't often get stuff via FedEx because they are money-sucking vampires and usually take more for customs than they are actually supposed to take because they assume things instead of asking for paperwork. But yeah, no, usually they were pretty fast, and I had some hope that this is still the case, but I haven't tried them since my last order from Diamond Shop, which I think was in December and might have shipped in January. Hard word. I can't even remember anymore when the last time was. Jeez. So yeah, we will see. But I'll keep you posted. And that's all I have for diamond painting right now. As always, if you're not interested in the stitching and the knitting, thank you for watching this far, and I hope you will be back tomorrow. And I hope I will have a bit more meat to go with these potatoes for you tomorrow. Okay, kitty. I know you're enjoying yourself very much right now, but we are going to have to show the people something else. Not just your fluffy little self. She's not down with that, guys. So, for the stitching, come on, let my arm go. Thank you. No, Mom, I'm not okay with that. For the stitching, I worked on 2 projects since the last Crafty Chat. As you know, if you've seen the floss tube I released on Friday, you have already seen this as a picture because I put a photo in. And Lola, you have to move your furry little butt because I can't get the frame down enough to show the whole thing. Another thing she does not care about. So, but I promised I would show the whole thing on camera on Monday, and here it is. This is my long dog sampler for Forevermore. And my goal was last week to stitch the complete first page. I had most of the corner ornament and the rest is what I stitched last week. I actually finished stitching on this on... Well, if you're very technical, I finished midnight midnight on Friday morning. I'm saying I finished it on Thursday. But that was a day earlier than I actually planned. And at first I was thinking about, should I keep stitching on it for one more day, or should I maybe start a new project with the one day I had gained? And in the end, I decided to do neither of the two. So I'm also fine with that. But I think it's looking really great. I really enjoy how this comes out. This bird here is what I stitched on Thursday, and wow, did he take me a long time. I thought he would go much faster because it wasn't so much counting and starting and stopping. It was pretty much just starting the thread, stitching a section, ending the thread, and so on. It's very different to scattered little things, even though you don't have too many of them here in this sampler, thankfully. Yeah, but it took a lot longer. I think it's because I wanted to get him finished on Thursday no matter what. I sometimes get competitive like that with myself, always just with myself, strangely. And yeah, and I always got very distracted as well because I watched YouTube videos and stuff while doing this. So yeah, but it's still, I think I can say without tooting my own horn, it's pretty good progress for 1 week of stitching. So I am not disappointed with how this turned out. I have no idea when I will pull this back out again, because quite honestly, I'm a bit tired of it now. Not like, ugh, I can't see your stitchy face anymore. Yeah, hi baby. Aww. More cuddles. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But like more in the, I would like to see something else now thing. So this is the Long Dog Sampler. This is actually a little more than one page because the page turn was here. So everything past that is the next page. And then the page turn was, can't see it like that, was here. Right where this wing ends. But I didn't want to stop at that point. I wanted to complete the bird and not leave the motif half finished. So this was Thursday's stopping point. I did not stitch on Friday. Like I said, I took a day off. I just did a bit of knitting and finished the cowl. And then I started my Yogacorn stitch along with my stitchy friends, Rachel Ray Crafts and Jessie from Mislaid Pages. And this is the first of my 9 Yogacorns. It's the one smack in the middle. And as you can see, I am nearly finished with it. So all that's missing is one more color of Krynic. I have already stitched the gold and I need to stitch the orange. Then I missed a few stitches of the darker yellow that are supposed to go here, I think, or here. Either below or above the gold. I'm going to fill them in. And then there is a bit of back stitching and the unicorn is done. So I think I'm going to go against my original plan for today and first finish him up, and then I'm going to start with my new project. Few things about this project here. So I discovered the Yogacorn pattern. It's a pattern from a shop called Little Room in the Attic on Etsy. I think I discovered it at the beginning of the year and it is so stinking cute. No. It is so stinking cute, and I showed it to Rachel and I insisted this had to happen, and she was all in right away because we are both a bit unicorn crazy, I think. And yeah, I purchased the patterns and I looked at the pattern and thought, oh god, this is not going to be fun at all. The main reason is the lady charting these patterns, she provides them in 4 different versions. But for whatever reason, she doesn't give you colored with symbols, not with the back stitching on them. And the back stitching, as always, in these patterns that are created by Russian or Ukrainian creators, designers, the back stitching is intense. So there is sometimes 3 different lines of back stitching going through one stitch, and then you're supposed to still see what kind of symbol is underneath all this back stitching, because there is no version of the stitch without. So to give you a bit of an impression how this looks like, usually when you have these intensive backstitch patterns and the designer doesn't want to torture you, they give you a version of the pattern that shows just the cross stitch, because the backstitch is usually lines, straight lines that go from a certain point of a stitch to wherever it's supposed to end, and they run over everything, of course, so that you can give your stitch a bit more definition, because as you can see right now, you can make out what this is, but I don't know if you would really recognize what it is if you didn't know. The back stitching will give it lines and details that you can't do with the little crosses. So back stitching is annoying but super awesome. On a pattern, it is just annoying. And usually if a designer loves you, they give you this version where you have just the cross stitch, so you can do all the cross stitch without being in pain and squinting your eyes and going cross-eyed over it. And then there's a version where you have the back stitch on it. And this designer sadly gives you, I think, 2 different versions of black and white patterns. She gives you colored with symbols on it, and she gives you colored without any symbols on it. And all the versions have the backstitch, I believe. Maybe one of the black and whites doesn't have it, but I can't stitch from black and white patterns. I just can't. It's too hard for me. I can do it with a long dog because that's just one color, but as soon as there are more colors involved, I can't do it. My eyes need color. So this pattern is really a pain. But since Jessie and Rachel agreed, I am not the only one feeling that way. I have more patterns of this designer. I still plan to do all 9 unicorns because I have started now and I don't want to quit, especially since I put this smack dab in the middle of a huge piece of Picture This Plus Haunted. So this is going to happen, and it's, frankly, once you get used to it, it is not that bad. I think the worst part is actually where the mane and the tail comes in, because that is very confetti, because it's rainbowy. So there's a lot of color. I think you can't even see all the colors because they are very similar. But there are 2 shades of yellow in here. There's a light green in here. There is a shade of pink and then a blend of pink, a shade of purple and a blend of purple, a blue, there's white, there's gold, and there's going to be metallic orange in there. There's a lot going on in this very little space here, so it's very confetti heavy. And if you have to stitch that with all the backstitch running over it, it can be a bit of a pain. That said, I think even without the backstitch, this already looks real good. That is the positive behind all the pain. If you have so many shades and even blends going into a piece, but if you look at it after it's done, it is really worth it. So, long story long, I'm not going to do my new start today, or maybe I am. It depends on how long I need to finish this, but I'm going to put in the second color of Krynic, the few yellow stitches I missed, and then I am hopefully going to get all the back stitching in. And I should be done with this first unicorn. If you would like to join Rachel, Jessie, and myself on this, you can absolutely. This is not a closed stitch along. Anyone is welcome. I would say you can even use any kind of Yogacorn if you have another pattern. I only know the 3 patterns available from Little Room in the Attic, but if you would like to get them, they are linked in the description box down below. And if you would like to join us, please use the hashtag yogacornsal. Me personally, I am only going to post on Instagram. I don't know, I think Jessie and Rachel also use Facebook, so you can use the hashtag there as well, I believe. I do not know Facebook. I have no idea how it works, but I think you can use hashtags there as well. And please do so. We would really enjoy having more people suffering through this with us. I'm really selling this, right? So this is all the stitching I did on the weekend. And then there was a little bit of knitting happening, and that's about it. So let's move on to the knitting. And if you're not interested in the knitting, once again, thank you very much. I hope I will see you tomorrow. Hey, kitty. So we have a finish. I finished this. There is no pattern. I flew by the pants, by the seats of my pants. Cowl I made. It looks deceptively finished, but as you can see, I have my 2 ends to still weave in. So 2 things I learned with this cowl is, I don't know why people are so fond of the long tail cast on. I hate it. So my first project was a project that started with 3 stitches and increased, and for that the long tail cast on was equally okay and useless. But for this one, I cast on 240 stitches, and with the long tail cast on, this was such a pain in the butt. Not because I measured my yarn wrong. I actually did pretty good. I was surprised by myself. But because with a long tail cast on, my live yarn, for whatever reason, twists up beyond recognition. It just starts to, you know, if you turn this and pull it together, it does this. And my live yarn did that, and really seriously did that. It formed really tight coils, and it was super annoying. And also it unraveled at the same time. So these yarns are made up of several plies that are twisted around each other. So what this did, it unraveled in this way so that you could really make out the single plies in there. And it tangled. So this annoyed me so much. The first time I cast this on, I made a mistake while joining it in the round. I really checked and rechecked and checked again that I had not twisted it around the needle, because once you join it, there's no way to get the twist out. And if one twist is in there, it will keep twisting and you will never get a tube. I did that, so I had to unravel the whole thing and do it again. And the first time I did it with a long tail cast on. The second time around I did not. So I looked up a different version. I have no idea what this cast on is called in English, but basically you only have this little teeny tiny tail here, and you cast on from your live yarn until you are done. And I think this is the much better option, because my yarn didn't twist like a crazy person, it didn't unravel, and I didn't have to measure and hope and pray that I chose the right amount of yarn. Job done. So that was the first thing I learned while stitching this cowl. If I have projects with a huge amount of stitches that need to go on the needle, I'm not going to do a long tail cast on. I probably never am going to do a long tail cast on ever again, to be honest. Don't know why people are so fond of that thing. So, second thing I learned, I'm not sure I like this type of cowl. I mean, it's still unblocked, but I am not super fond of how it looks around the neck. I'm going to do one of these again, just to use a different yarn, see if I can tweak it a little bit, and then basically tell you what to do if you want to have your own, even though this is such a simple pattern. So it's going to be, no matter what, it's going to be free for everyone. I'm not trying to sell this. And I am going to knit one that was made by someone who actually knows what they are doing. So maybe it's just because I did this let's go thing. I have no idea. But so far I'm not super fond of how they sit around the neck. I think I'm going to like the hipster cowl I showed you, because this is a very different shape. This is more like a long scarf and doesn't bunch up on your neckline, basically, which this thing does, and then you don't see a whole lot of the beautiful pattern. And I think these eyelets are beautiful. They really are. And I like how the eyelets force these ruffles on the stockinette sections as well. Gives them much more interest than plain stockinette would have usually. So these are the two things. Other than that, I love the look of this. I love how the yarn looks, and I'll have to see if I can adjust the color of this, because looking at my screen right now, it looks nothing like the real thing. Yeah. I know, you heard adjusting color and you thought, well, yeah, for a moment there you did it. Yeah, that's a bit more what it actually looks like. I don't know why the cat adjusts the color though perfectly. So I have to see if I can do that to show you what it really looks like, because it's actually very, very beautiful. And I'm seriously thinking of getting more of this, which is actually not what knitting this cowl was supposed to do. But anyway, so we have a finished second knitting finish of 2020. I honestly never thought I would say these words. So next up will be the, hi, I know, I'm not paying attention to you. I'm trying to keep this video under 30 minutes, honey bunch. So next on the needles will be the heart lace shawl. And yeah, and I thought, when I already talk about redoing this, I might as well choose my yarn for this. And since I realized that I'm most likely not going to wear the cowl, I decided to go with the yarn I recently got and knew right away I would most likely never wear. So I guess that's a good combination. And it's so sad because the yarn I'm going to show you now is really pretty as far as colors go, but I really don't like the base yarn. It's Anyway, I discovered a shop on Etsy called Fjord Fibers, and she is located in Norway. And my blonde brain forgot for a moment that Norway is not part of the European Union. So I thought, yay, another shop I can order from and I don't have to pay customs for. Yeah, no, wrong. While Sweden and Finland are part of the EU, Norway is not, and that meant it took ages to arrive here because Frankfurt probably decided I didn't have a tracking number, to sit on it for a month, and then I had to pay customs for it. So, but anyway, I bought. Would you let go of me for a second? I'm still here. What I bought is a set, but I can't remember now which of these belong in there and which don't, quite frankly. I think that these two don't belong. So I bought a mini skein set. These are 20 grams mini skeins, and they are a bit thicker. They are sock yarn, just like this one. So they are 350 meters per 100 gram. These are 20 gram skeins, so that means we have 70 meters of yarn. And the first color, yeah. Can we not do this? Thank you. The first color is Sea Breeze, and this is a super neon mint color. So on the screen right now it looks much more restrained than it actually is. And maybe to show you, maybe you can see it. This looks, it's scratchy for one. So, and it looks very acrylic to me. And I don't like the acrylic look. It is 100%, no, it is 80% wool, 20% polyester, which a lot of sock yarns are. I think most of them are. 80-20 or 35-25 even. That doesn't usually give it this acrylic look. But yeah, here you go. So that's the first color, and I'm going to put it here. And Kitty, you are pulling on my cowl. I said I'm not going to wear it, but that's no reason to destroy it. Poor Kitty doesn't have any toys. She needs to play with the yarn. Second color is Ice Flow. This color is super pretty. For this one, the only color in the set I don't like is this one. All the other colors are gorgeous, but the base yarn is just not what I like. Ah, cat. Okay, while the cat kills the wool, I'm going to save my cowl. So that is the second color. Don't do that. Also, they are losing their labels. This is Unicorn Dreams, and this is so gorgeous. All these periwinkles, purples, light blues, absolutely my jam. And we have Tropical Waters. It's a bit darker than the Unicorn Dreams, basically, but it's the same color family. And I think the one I ordered in addition to that is Hidden Jewels, because it was a 5 skein set and I ordered 2 more separately. And I think this is Hidden Jewels because I thought it fit in here. And then we had Jazz Blues, which has more pink than the Hidden Jewels. And I know that I purchased this one separately. It's Cosmic Forces. but it has these darker colors here in there. It's a bit of a harsh, but I guess it works because the first and the last color are a bit of a harsh transition, and the other two are more of a fade. The other 5 are more of a fade. I hope this is going to work. I like these sticks together. It's really this one that weirds me out. But I think I'm going to try again, and since this is the same thickness as the yarn I've used before, this should work out, I hope. And I'm going to make the second one a little longer. I originally intended to make this one longer as well, so I have 5 of the eyelet sections and I have 4 stockinette sections, and the original plan was to do 1 more stockinette with decrease and then to do 1 more eyelet section, so it would have given me basically a couple of more inches on this in length. And I think with this yarn I'm actually going to do this. I used for this cowl 116 grams of my yarn. It was a tiny bit thicker. See, she pulled something here. It was a tiny bit thicker than this is, because this only had 325 meters per 100 gram, but it should be not noticeable at all in the end. And it should give me enough yarn to do more and make it a bit longer. And then I know if this pattern actually works to be a wearable cowl or not. We'll see. So this is the plan for this. And yeah, that's it. I did not manage to stay under 30 minutes today, dang it. But it's mostly because I have to fight off the cat. I can give you one final shot of all the yarns in frame. Anyway, guys, that's it. I am going to edit and upload this now so you can see it. Once you, I guess it's, for most people, it's lunchtime. For me, it's dinner time, actually. So I'm going to do that now, and I hope you have a wonderful long weekend if you are in the US. I hope you have a wonderful normal working day if you are anywhere else, and I will talk to you tomorrow, guys. Bye.